Across the Park podcast is proud to be sponsored by Globe Gas and Heating. For the best kitchen and bathroom renovations, boiler servicing and repair, and central and underfloor heating in the Northwest, head over to globecentralheating.com and quote Across the Park for a free quote. Hello and welcome to a Across the Park podcast, and as you can see, we are at the amazing, the old lady, Goodison Park as we wind down. It's the final season. Thank you so much to Everton Football Club and Mo for allowing us to come down, talk about this place, look ahead to what could happen this season, what we hope will happen, and just talk about the legacy. And I've got two amazing guests coming up. I'm so happy they've agreed to come back on the show, two big Evertonians. But first of all, I'm about to introduce you to someone who is going to be forever my favourite ever guest on Across the Park podcast. You might know him already because he's jumped on many instant match reactions. He's been invited this time. My 6-year-old little son, Noah. Hi, Noah.
Hi.
Welcome to Across the Park podcast. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Don't become shy on me. I've seen you on your iPad doing these. I'm going to ask you some questions, okay? Because remember we go past Bramley Moor, I always say that's Everton's new grounds.
Yeah.
This one's going to go.
Yeah.
But you love this one, Goodison Park, don't you? Why do you love it?
Because when we go at the front, we like sit really close. And I like when we like go up to the top, because when we go up to the top, you can like see the whole pitch and everything.
So we sit in the park end, don't we? And we can see everything. But on Saturday, we sat at row A of the family enclosure, and you loved it. You nearly ran on the pitch and the ball hit you, didn't it? And you threw it back. Yeah. So you like Goodison Park because you like coming to the matches with Daddy.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to the matches in the new stadium, aren't we? But in this one, where's your favourite seat? Where'd you like to sit?
I think at the front.
At the front. Okay. Is that because you touched the ball?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know what your first game was?
When I was 3.
When you were 3. Do you know what happened, or do you want me to tell you the story?
You tell me the story.
So we came here dead early, too early, and you were running around mad. And then Everton played Norwich, and we were winning 1-0. And at half time, you wanted to go home because you were tired. And we went home and missed the second goal. So your first ever Everton game, we went home at half time. But then we went to a few more games and you started staying for longer. So all the games we've been to, what was your favourite Everton game here?
When Everton versus Liverpool.
When Everton versus Liverpool?
At the Derby.
At the Derby, it was a good one, wasn't it? And what do you like about that, mate?
Because it was like when Everton would win it, when Everton won 2-0, because Liverpool is like Everton's above Liverpool and Liverpool's like close to the first, so I liked it.
And you've watched that game back on your tablet how many times? You think 1 million or 2 million?
1 million.
1 million. And what was our favourite song from that night? You lost
the league at Goodison Park and Noah was there and Daddy was there.
You lost the league at Goodison Park and Noah was there and Daddy was there. And just before we go, Noah, who's your favourite Everton player that you see at Goodison Park?
Pickford, Branthwaite and Tarkowski.
Pickford, Branthwaite and Tarkowski. You have been the greatest guest we've ever had on Across the Park podcast. Give me a hug. Well done, mate. So we end it because we're about to bring our 2 new guests in with
Up the Toffies.
Okay, and welcome back to Across the Park podcast. Thank you to my mini raver, Big Evertonian, my little boy Noah, for helping me introduce this show, talking about this place. It's the last year at Goodison Park, and I'm delighted. 2 people who I'm big fans of, and I'm now mad that I'm friends with. Jack Hellier, Steve Cocky from Interman Radio. How are you? Thanks for joining us.
I can't believe we've been invited back.
I know, I'm buzzing.
I thought once would have been well been enough.
I've done it 3 times now.
I'm going to start paying you.
I know, yeah.
Wow.
That's the worrying thing.
I know. Invoicing for this.
This is special though, isn't it? Look
It
at
is.
this for the setting.
It is.
Look at this.
Proper Everton, it's raining. Before we go on, big, massive thanks to Mo at Everton Football Club. He's not going to like me thanking him publicly, but he's a legend getting us in here. So big thanks to Mo. Jack, how special is this place to you? Goodison Park.
Well, I was here on Saturday,
Yeah.
and the place was just packed for a friendly, and it was like just a big atmosphere. You'd think it was an important game, and I don't think a lot of other stadiums have that. And it's just something special about here, especially there. Like, it's just the best.
The backdrop there, the
Yeah.
famous Gladys Street.
Yeah.
Steve, but you've seen some moments standing in there.
Absolutely seen. So I remember coming as a kid, and my dad used to come in. My dad used to have a couple of posh seats in the main stand, and me and my mate would come in and he'd drop us off, but he'd get here dead early because he'd go and have a little bit of pre-match entertainment and all that. So remember when you used to be able to go and get a cup of tea in the church,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
20p cup of tea in the church, So me and my mate would come in here, we'd go in the church first and get a cup of tea, and then we would like literally be the first ones in the Gladys Street like that as soon as the gates opened. Back in the days when you could pay on a turnstile.
They brought that back, you know, the little cafe in St. Luke's.
Have they?
The fan advisory board pushed to get it back.
It was
and it's
tremendous.
belter prices as well.
Yeah, literally, you come in, you get a mug of tea, proper mug of tea for 20p.
Yeah, yeah.
And then as soon as the turnstile's open, cash on the turnstile, straight in, happy days.
What was your, maybe not your first game, but have you got some first memories? Like when you come in, you see it, go back to being a kid and...
I can remember my very first memory, I reckon it was when we were in the FA Cup 84. And I think my first memory was a cup game. I want to say it was Shrewsbury. It must have been like a January, February time, one of the early rounds in the FA Cup. And I'm pretty sure we won 3-0. And I can remember vividly that the atmosphere that the FA Cup used to bring, especially not so much now, but then the FA Cup was massive, wasn't it? And I must have only been 6 or 7 then in the Gladys Street for an FA Cup game. And it was tremendous. That was one of my first ever memories.
Start of Boss era that as well, weren't
Yeah.
it?
Well, that was the year we went on to win the FA Cup, so it was tremendous.
Start
That,
off. What about you? A bit
My
like...
year has not been as good, to be fair. My year has not been as good. I've not seen us win anything.
Really? I thought you were the same age as me.
No, just the skincare. Skincare, wow. Cheers. No, I've not seen much good things here. Some great memories and stuff. My favourite memory's got to be when we beat Newcastle. You know, Alex Iwobi's last minute goal.
Yeah.
And just the whole place was just so tense. And then as soon as he scored, the whole place just erupted, and it was just like this big release. But yeah, and obviously I've watched us lose many a times in the park end.
But can you remember, if you ain't like me, your first memories of this place is like when you're an eagle-eyed little boy and you come into it. Have you got those memories of maybe not your first games, but was it special to you to come in as a kid on a Saturday?
Yeah, I always remember the Derby win where they all jumped on each other over there. And it was
The Carsley goal?
Yeah,
Carsley
that's
goal,
the one that I remember. My dad was in the toilet at the time and missed it. So I just watched
You
it.
got Everton's?
It was one of them, it was one of them iconic moments where I was just there for it and he was in the box. But
I was thinking about it before now when we come over to see you and thinking about like the highlights that jump out to me at Goodison. I wasn't here for the Bayern Munich game. I watched it on the telly, and it was something else. I remember I listened to the actual. I think it was on the telly, and I was listening to the commentary on Radio City. I think it was at the time, and it was just you could feel it coming through the radio, and then. But I remember talking about special moments. I can remember Pat Nevin's little dink 3-2 game against United. Remember he lobbed the keeper?
I do remember that, yeah.
Oh, he was a tremendous player. And I remember, do you remember the 3-0? Andy Johnson, 2 goals in a derby.
Of course I do, yeah.
Oh, there's like a couple of things that stand out. And weirdly, for all the wrong reasons, Lampard's game against Richarlison where we survived, I think will stay with me forever.
Yeah.
And not a great situation, was it? But the atmosphere in here that night was, I know it was wrong of us all to be celebrating failure, but it was just felt so big because I think most of us thought we were doomed, and to come in half time getting beat and for it to turn the game round like that, I mean, I had my kids with me, and that was my kids' first proper game. It was just that will always stay with me. That always
it shows the emotion and how much things do mean to you, because you don't realise how much things mean to you until the Palace game or the Bournemouth game, and you realise like, wow, it was so
my kids
close.
were crying that night. Watching people coming on the pitch, everyone standing, the manager standing on the director's boxes and all that. It was just like they'd never seen anything like that. Never. It was like you couldn't have got much bigger reaction if you'd won the European Cup, could you? Let's be honest.
We've seen people try, haven't we?
Unbelievable.
Do you know when you're sitting here like this in this environment? It's not a match day, and we're really lucky to be down here. And what we're talking about is this place is going. Is it starting to hit home for you that it's not going to be here much
after
longer?
Weekend, I was sitting here thinking, like, when the friendly, and I was thinking, well, this is the last friendly, actually, really, at Goodison. And I was just looking around the place, and it's just, I know, like, it's not the prettiest of stadiums, it's not the slickest of stadiums, but there's not many like this anymore.
No.
And I think once this kind of goes, that's the last of them.
Yeah.
So I think for away fans, I think it's like, I've got loads of mates who support different teams, and their goal is to always go to Goodison.
Yeah.
Because it's different to the other stadiums, because the rest are quite similar, and it's the same thing, but here's just, it's different, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's mad, and look, you're going to miss it. It's when you drive past it in a year's time, it's not going to be here. It's going to hit home. Is it the same for you, Steve? Because I think Jack just said there, the last pre-season friendly, we've already had the last Boxing Day game. That's gone. We haven't got it this year. So we're into the lasts.
I'm bit different, to be honest. Like I feel like it's hit home in the last couple of weeks with the talk when you're seeing about the Legends game returning and all the talk about all the things that they're talking about this year. I think it feels like we've had a bit of reality check and it is starting to hit home. But for me, I actually think I made my peace with it a while ago, because I love this place and I've got great memories of this. But you know, I loved my dad, and my dad's not with me anymore, and I have great memories of him too. I think I'm a bit of a progressionist. I think we have to move on. I'm actually probably more excited about the new stadium. That stronger feeling in me than the thought of leaving here. Evertonians will always, we love our history, we're passionate about our club, and no one will ever forget this place. Every single one of us will take memories to the grave with all of us for generations to come. It'll never be forgotten. But for me, it upsets me that we've fallen so far behind everyone else, and the stadium's a big part of that for me. And I also think Everton don't get much stuff right, in my opinion. It's not in recent years. I think what they've done with Dan Meese and the stadium design and the way they've incorporated what feels like they need to be applauded, because to me, they've captured that Everton essence. Like, I've seen a few things written, and one that really resonated for me loads was a lot of the stadiums you go to, they feel like great stadiums. They don't feel like their own. They don't feel like they're part of the club. They just you know, like, they just feel like a great stadium and that club's playing there. Yeah, West Ham's a great example, isn't it? Man City as well for me. It doesn't feel like, whereas for me, I think what they've done with Bramley Moore is they've gone, no, this is our home. Every single part of it needs to be ingrained in the fabric of the club. That's Everton. Everywhere you go, there's an Everton crest, there's a badge, there's a flag. It needs to feel like you're on our turf when people come to that stadium. And I feel like, looking at what's been done so far, that feels like it is. So yeah, sad to be here, but no one's taken our memories away from us. And I think the excitement for me about moving forward outweighs the loss, defo.
Do you share that, Jack? You look ahead as well.
Yeah, if you think about it, at the end of the day, it's just bricks. It's what the people in it, the people make it, and the people are going to move to the other stadium. Do you know what I mean? So you got like is it the blue wave and stuff like that? That's just going to be just different.
A whole new generation. Our next generations are going to hopefully have it better.
And you know what? Maybe that brings a new fan base with it as well, because we're not getting new fan bases to winning stuff on the pitch, are we? You know, maybe having one of the best stadiums in the country is a stepping stone towards better things. It feels like it is to me. It really does. I'm dead excited about it, like, really am.
Is there anywhere you've not sat?
Never sat here before, ever. I've just seen parts of the ground today. I have seen parts of the ground here today that I have never seen before, ever. And I didn't even know this bit existed here, honestly.
I'm trying to think. I feel like I've sat everywhere.
Yeah, I've sat everywhere.
There's three ends. You've got the three Bullens.
I've even sat in the away end on the upper Bullens at one stage for I even sat there one time.
What was that for?
It was when they'd done when we tried to get a ticket for the game and they hadn't sold the full allocation, so they re-released they released the top sections, didn't they? They used to, so you could get a ticket. So last minute, I jumped on and sat above the away fans. I can't remember what the game was, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I've sat over top. Have you ever sat in the top balcony, by the way, near the front? Oh my god, it's terrifying!
Horrible.
It's like what the worst ride in Disney.
Whenever attack, no one stands up. Everyone's just all gone.
It's scary up there, mate. I'm petrified. I remember going, whoa.
My little boy Noah, he's got the lower Bullens to do, and that's it. So I think Everton have already announced the women's derby will be at Goodison again. We sit in the park and so I'm open to tick. And he's done it all. Age 6, he's done it all.
Do you know what's amazing about Goodison? I don't know if it's like this at other stadiums, but like, have you noticed how important where you sit is in the ground towards the supporters? You know, like, people are dead specific. Where do you sit? Oh, just left of the halfway line in the lower Bullens. Where do you sit? Oh, just right to the goal in the upper Gladys. Like, they're dead specific, aren't they? And it's like, it's ingrained. It's like, why'd you sit there? Oh, my dad sat there, or it was my granddad's seat, or it was like, it's like that territorial. It's like really important. I wonder if it's going to have that same in the new stadium, whether that location, because the location is Everton to a season ticket holder, isn't it?
It's going to be this year that we get to see it, because the season tickets come on sale after Christmas.
Right.
So we're all going to have to go and have a look at our new seats. And you're right, maybe people are going to be like, well, I want it to be on the halfway. That's where I sit.
But it's like, it's ingrained in everybody. Like, no, well, that's been my seat for the last 20 years, and now all of a sudden you move, and what if you don't like it? And you know, it's mad, and it's a different.
And you know what'll happen if you have a bad start? It's because of the new place.
That'll be the play. That'll be the thing. That'll be the thing.
So Steve was saying there, Jack, about like the new place is going to become our home and stuff. I think it's important to concentrate on here a little bit. You know, when you're here on a Saturday or a Wednesday, does it feel like home to you?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think that first journey where you go to Bramley Moor is gonna be the weirdest journey ever.
Yeah,
Because you have your little routines and stuff, which the pub you go beforehand, where you go the chippy beforehand.
Yeah.
You have these little routines where even you park your car.
Yeah.
Like all these little things are part of the day,
Yeah.
and then that's all changing. And for some people, especially like the older ones, like used to, he's been doing it for a lot longer than me. So for you, it's probably going to be quite hard to kind of like mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. My little lad don't know it. He runs around this place like he owns it on a match day. Are your kids like that at home?
Absolutely, yeah. Waving at people and like running up to people, making sure they grab and still Ryan outside, and all that. Yeah, we're all comfortable here, aren't we? It's like going to your nan's or whatever. We're all just that comfortable here, aren't we? So.
Boss analogy. It is going to be sad to lose this place. And there's some events. Everton have announced that there's going to be an event with legends on the pitch, and some players are coming in, and there's rumours that there might be some post-season events because the neighbours have leaked things on Twitter and stuff like that. Is there something you'd like to see? We'll get to you. Is there something that you'd like to see Everton do before this place goes? Something here?
I'd love to see a proper music event on here before it went. I would. I'd love to. Or whatever it was, whether it was a concert or whatever. I'd love to see a proper. It's never really happened here properly that I can remember. So I'd love to see that. But I'd really, really like to see. I know that they're doing it with that Legends match. I feel like we've shortchanged quite a few of our favourite players over the years. When I think of Bainesy, when I think of Cahill, when I think of Tim Howard, when I think of Phil Jagielka, and they're just recent ones, they've all kind of been let leave without any of us getting to say bye to some of these players that we adored. And I always felt that a bit shortchanged by that. I felt that there was players there that we had, that we loved and that loved us, and we never really got to say bye to them. I know they're going to bring possibly a few of them back on that Legends night, but I mean, that Bainesy not getting a testimonial for me is criminal. Probably the greatest left back we've ever had. What a player, and Ozzy was a great servant.
Jagielka never got one.
He just slipped out the back door quietly. Too many do that. So I'd like to see them involved. Cahill, we never really got a proper send off, did we? A few of these, I just think I'd like them to be involved a bit in the last season. But at some sort of concert right at the end of the season, I think.
I bet you know a man who can sort.
Maybe, little festival, maybe.
I was thinking that.
Someone who can DJ on there as well.
I will get booked.
Do you know anyone? Jack?
I'll be working the turnstiles. Never mind that.
But yeah, something like that I think would be good.
That's
be really fitting,
Yeah. Great. Are you a bit like that? Like maybe some ex-players, maybe incorporate that on a match day each half time or something.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think they should do like a big players game. Yeah. Two sides, two ex-Everton like teams, just going at it. But music-wise, Camel Fat.
That'd be a belter, yeah.
Do you know the way Fatboy Slim did the Brighton Stadium?
Yeah.
Just something like that.
Not a bad shout.
Not just something a little
if
bit.
If they intro the last home game of the season, warm everyone up, and then they do something maybe.
No, I think they just do the whole thing, get the whole pitch full of.
An actual game.
What about like a two-tiered thing, like a Friday night Camel Fat, a Saturday night McCartney, or something like that? Cover everyone, all generations.
That's why you're where you are in life. When I'm sitting in the table box.
That'd be the one, wouldn't it? A weekend there. Friday night something for the younger ones. Saturday night for all generations.
Yeah.
Camel Fat Friday, McCartney Saturday.
Yeah.
That'd tick all the boxes, wouldn't it?
No one's going to turn down playing here. No one.
And if a football wise, I've spoken about this with some of my mates. I'd love to see something for the 1985 team where they're just honoured. And remember when Tottenham and West Ham left their stadiums and they had a big event? If Colin Harvey can be the last man down the tunnel at that night, I think that'd be, if Everton can make that happen, I'd love that.
Yeah, be special.
What's it going to feel like, Jack, when you drive past here and it's not here and you look?
Weird. Very weird. Obviously, I'm not 100% sure what they're going to do with it. But it's going to be sad. It's going to be really weird.
I think the main stand bit is still going to be visible.
Yeah.
They're going to keep the shell and it's going to become like a hub for schools and stuff. But where you drive past Stanley Park now, the park won't be there, for instance, and that's...
I think it's going to be weird for the neighbours as well.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be used to looking over and then now we're over there and in a new shiny stadium.
Yeah.
It's going to be different for them.
You stay next time you drive down Morton Lane, it's not here. You have to take a moment or...
I think you'll take a moment, but I think when you drive around the corner and you see our new home, which is just breathtaking, I think it's hard to look back at something like that. You'd see it now and it's like, whoa, that's unbelievable, isn't it? And it is because everyone else is going quiet about it, or they're just going, looks all right, that, doesn't it?
Not even been in yet to see inside.
You know what I mean? And I just think, I think it's short. I think you drive past it and you go, that's where she was, you know. But then 2 minutes around the corner, you go and look at that.
Yeah.
You know, again, for me, I'm a looking forward, not back kind of person. I am, and I'm sad. I love this place. It means Everton to me. You know, I've got so many memories here, but I'm excited about the new memories that we can make with my kids and their generations in that amazing place. Amazing. And it will be amazing because you said it before. It's bricks, metal, steel. It's about the people. The people make that place.
I think it's about right when you talked about the memories. The memories are never going to leave us. They're always going to be here. It's just that we're not going to see where they were made.
The fan base here is what makes this place special, and they'll do that there 100%.
I want to close by asking about what you think the legacy is. I was asked to, me and Gary were asked to write part of a book on Goodison. So we put a chapter in, and my chapter was me and my our fella in 1995. 1994 came in the street ends. Everton won 2-0 against Liverpool. Big Joe Rose first game. My our fella died in 2016, and I've always said that memory will never be topped. Everton can win anything, and it will never be topped. I brought Little Man to the derby in April. We won 2-0, and I was like, this place is just connected. That's now my new favourite memory, and this place has connected it. So for me, I always have that legacy. That will always be with me. And this place not being here will never remove that. I think it's important to say that. But for you, start with you, Jack. When you're looking back at this place, what's the legacy?
For me, it's mad as well because it's quite recent. It's that Newcastle game.
Yeah.
Because there was just so much tension. We came down there, we're sitting there, of course, like in the Gladys Street, and I had like a friend with us, and we're standing there, and they hadn't really been to the match much.
Yeah.
And no one sat down the whole game. Everyone's whistling. It's just horrible. And you could see the Newcastle fans in the corner. This was like, didn't mean anything to them, this game, besides like the Pickford stuff. But they were, and then obviously there was stuff, the Just Stop Oil thing that happened right in front of me as well. But that's the most Everton thing ever. Yeah, some guy coming on with scissors, wasting time, and then we score in the extra time. And I'll never forget, I ended up about 4 rows forward. You're hugging strangers, which will happen at Bramley Moor as well. But I remember just looking up, and you just see everyone, the whole place is just bouncing. And that's one of the memories that'll just always stay.
Yeah. What about you, Steve? When you look back at Goodison Park, what will be the first thing? What's his legacy for you? What's the connection?
Slightly different for me. I think that this Everton team and this manager, the greatest thing that could happen in our farewell season here is for them to go and win the trophy this year. On any level. The final parade on this pitch should be with a trophy. I know it's a massive, massive ask, but if you're not emotive and you're not inspired at your final season in here, I honestly think that what the players are going to experience and what the fan base is going to experience this year will elevate us. I really do, and I think it might be a Carling Cup. Do you know what I mean? But
take that all.
Take anything.
Go out and win a trophy and have that final walk round, that final parade on that pitch for me. Yeah, that final parade on this pitch in this amazing stadium with a trophy. That's the legacy for me. I'm trying to predict the future, but for me, that's the ultimate. That's what they need to go and do this year. And I know it's a big ask. I know where we're at, but what a legacy to leave behind.
Yeah,
that should be the final parade on this pitch, shouldn't it?
And I hope it is. I really hope it is. Win a cup, camel fat, reminisce. Paul McCartney. We've got it sorted. We've got it absolutely nailed. But I appreciate you both coming down to the podcast, Jack and Steve. Thanks again.
Thanks for inviting us.
Anytime. I'm going to keep asking you all the time. You're stuck with me. Thanks so much, guys, for joining us at Goodison Park. If there's been a raindrop on the audio, I apologise. It's been worse going down my back every 2 seconds instead. We are sitting in somewhere we've had to make do. But again, thank you so much to Everton Football Club, in particular Mo, for allowing us to come down here. Thank you to my guests, my little man Noah, Jack and Steve Hockey from Interman Radio. The season is here. It's the last one at Goodison. Let's enjoy it.
Come on, you Blues.
It's off ease.